My name is Ruth Duran. I'm a certified life coach. I help businesswomen make more money without working any harder or longer. And what we do is we identify what is actually costing them the time and the energy and what they're doing so that they can create the results that they want in their bank. So if you can see this, what anybody who goes into the businesses, they want money in the bank, whether they want money in the bank for their family, whether they want money in the bank for their children. It doesn't matter why they want money in the bank. They want money in the bank, and the money in the bank is a result of them actually doing what they needed to do. And so we can evaluate and say, how productive are you? You're productive because you will have the results in the bank, which is the money in the bank. You will have the result of all the energy and effort you've put out because you have money in the bank. And so my clients, this is something that I teach my clients to do, is their thoughts and their feelings and their actions create the money in the bank. And my clients, what they will do is they will come to this area. They will tell me about everything that they're doing. They will tell me about all the actions that they're taking. They will tell me about what they did, how they did it, when they did it. And so when they decide, I want to work, I want to create more money in the bank, I want to create results, I want to create clients, I want to create something, they will go to this piece of the action piece. And what that does, it burns them out. It leaves them exhausted. It leaves them sometimes not even with the results that they want, but it leaves them really worn out. And so I teach my clients that the reason that they, first of all, may not have the results that they have, but why they are burnt out is because of their thoughts and their feelings. The thoughts and the feelings that we have is the reason that we are burnt out. It is never the action. And the reason, let me give you two examples. A mother who is working 40 hours a day, 40 hours a week, is doing all the things, and she's still energized on Saturday to spend time with her family and do fun things. Versus another mother who's working the exact same hours, exact same results, but she's burnt out on Saturday and Sunday, and she needs to take a break on Saturday and Sunday. It's not the actions or the hours. It's what they're making it mean. And so when I worked at, I've had so many jobs, and when I didn't understand all this that I teach, when I didn't have coaching, when I didn't have mind management, I would always take a ton of action, but always result being burnt out. I'd always need to take like days off. I actually created like a system where I would take days off because I was so burnt out, but I always thought it was because of my actions. And so when I learned this work, I realized I could take the exact same action, which I do, but how I make it, how I think and feel about it creates the results that I create. The energy that I take my actions from is what creates the results I want and creates whether I'm burnt out or not. And so one of the things that we can start doing is really spending our time in mind management is the key. So really being able to decide, what are we thinking and we're feeling? And so the other thing is, burnout is not caused by what we do or the effort we put in or the hours we work. It's caused by what we make it mean and the energy that we use. So if I'm making it mean that I should not be taking all these hours, or I should I shouldn't be working that many hours. Any hours that I put in when I'm thinking I should not be doing it, it's exhausting. We don't realize that the energy that we're using, or if we start thinking that there's something wrong with me and I shouldn't be doing this, or I should be further along, or I should have X, Y, and Z, we are really exhausted just when we're taking the action. And so productivity is the result that we are creating. So productivity is what result we're actually creating. What do we have to show for it? What do we have to show at the end of the day? What is it that if I worked 8 hours, what is the finished product that we have? And so productivity is, what is the finished product? Productivity comes from manufacturing, and manufacturing is where it's gadgets or units produced in an hour. So they can say, well, you produce so many gadgets in an hour, so that means you were this amount productive. Same thing in business. I can work for 8 hours, what did I actually produce? What is the finished product that I produced? Who did I help? How did I serve them? What is the dollars in the bank that I created? And so when we get that result of what we did, we can say, I was productive. When we have that finished product. And the thing about it is, the finished product is so important. Sometimes people will say, like, the finished product is the finished product might be money in the bank, but then we miss all the steps that need to be taken to create the money in the bank. So the finished product can be a new client call. The finished product can be an asset, like right now, creating something and serving you guys and helping you guys see this is a finished product. So after this, I can celebrate and say, I created a finished product. The other part about it is then we want to, whenever we have a finished product, we want to have milestones along the finished product and celebrate this finished product, because when we get a dopamine hit, then we think positive thoughts, we feel positive thoughts, and it fuels the actions that we want to take. And so we create more of the results that we want. So I always tell my clients, let's celebrate it. Keep track of the thoughts and the feelings and the actions you took. Let's have a situation where you are seeing how badass you are. You are seeing how amazing you are, because that will fuel you and give you that dopamine. It will give you that encouragement to keep taking action no matter what. And so it helps you keep celebrating along the way. So we want to have celebrations. We want to have positive thoughts and feelings about us. We want to have positive thoughts and feelings about what's happening. We want to have not only just positive thoughts and feelings, we want to have energizing thoughts and feelings. So like an energizing thought and feeling for me is, I'm a badass and I feel resolved. I am figuring this out and I feel determined. I am committed to make it work and I feel committed. So when I think those energizing thoughts and feelings, I'll take the exact same actions, but I'll feel very different when I'm taking those actions. I'll feel very more motivated and inspired when I'm taking those actions, which increase the results that I want in the bank, will increase my productivity. And so when I experienced burnout, it was because one of the biggest things that I was not doing is I was not planning. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do during the week. I didn't know what I was going to do during the day. I didn't even know what I was going to do during the month. I was looking to other people to tell me what to do. I was looking to other people to tell me how to show up. And so what I started doing is I started planning. So like I write my notes, planning, pause, plan. What do I want to teach you guys? Pause, plan. What do I want to share? Pause, plan. What do I want to create? What is the finished product that I want to have at the end of it? And so when I was experiencing burnout, I was not planning. I was just hoping and wishing things would happen, and it wasn't getting me closer to the result that I wanted. And so when I started planning, I started realizing that solution to my productivity was planning. And so I do it and I teach my clients how to plan so that they can create the results that they want. And so the other thing is that also my cause for my burnout is I would experience resistance. Or I will, so for example, if I'm feeling resistance, my thought might be, this should not be happening. I should be further along. They have something I don't have, or this is not working. And so I feel resistance. I feel that pressure. So any action that I take is fueled from that resistance. But then I'm thinking, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So now I'm tired because of X, Y, and Z. But no, I'm tired because of the energy of resistance, the energy that is making me like literally pushing a boulder up a hill. And so Susie Q is thinking, this is working. I feel inspired and motivated. She takes all the same actions I took. I'm thinking this should be working. This is not fair. I feel resistance. I take the same actions as Susie Q. Susie Q is going to get the result that she wants. She's going to get the productivity that she wants. I was not, because of the energy that I was using. Another one is using willpower, forcing myself to do things. So if I'm thinking I have to do this and I force myself to do it, so the actions are the same, but I'm forcing myself, and I'm using grit and resilience, and no, those are all can be positive, but I'm forcing myself to do something. I'm making me do something and I'm not ready to do it. And so I experience burnout. The other thing that I started realizing is I was also arguing for reality. And so Byron Katie teaches us if we argue for reality, we lose but 100% of the time. So if I was arguing that this should not be happening, or this should be easier, this should business should not have roller coaster ups and downs, that person should have bought, that person should have showed up and done something different, then it's like I'm arguing over here. So I'm feeling like this resistance and this arguing. And so I might take that same action, but I'm not going to create the results that I want. And so what I started to do is I started accepting. So I should put here accepting. Accepting the roller coaster of business. Business has its ups and its downs. Business has good days and it has days that we hope we don't want. We'll hear a yes and then we'll hear a no. We'll hear somebody will come to work with us and then maybe they decide not to, or whatever. But if I'm arguing that that should not be happening, then I'm creating a lot of energy that is not propelling me forward, versus going, okay, I'm accepting. She said she's not going to work with me. That's okay. Or she said no when I made my offer. That's okay. And so accepting the 50-50 of life was able to get me to continue flowing during the ups and downs of business. And so accepted even the fact that business is a roller coaster. My favorite book by Darren Hardy, Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, that talks about the ups and the downs of the business. That just happens. No matter what level in business that you're in, you're going to have the roller coaster of business. So if we accept that it's there, we can then create more of the results that we want. We can create a steady enthusiasm feeling. So like, for example, we might be thinking, so they said no, we feel discouraged. They said yes, we feel excited. So it's the even more dramatic up and down, versus no matter what they said or did, I feel enthusiastic. I feel calm. I feel confident. I feel certain. All the actions that I take will be very consistent, which are going to create the results that I want, which is money in the bank. So I decided to start energizing myself through my thoughts and my feelings, and which fueled how I took my actions. So you want to think about this as, if I'm thinking that I'm going to figure this out and I feel certain, all the actions that I take are going to be very consistent. I'm not going to show up on good days and not show up on bad days. I'm just going to show up no matter what is happening, because then I am consistent, resilient, calm. And so what we want to do is we want to see the causes of burnout. So for me, it was resistance, it was willpower, it was arguing, it was not planning. What are your causes of burnout? It could be these, or it could be even something else. So identify, what is your current thought and feeling about something? Are you, do you have stories that are maybe why you're different than everybody else? What is going on? And so the ways that I was able to be more productive without burnout is, number one, accepting the 50-50 of life, accepting the roller coaster of business, accepting that in business we're going to have amazing days and in business we're not going to have amazing days, especially as we're growing and growing out of our comfort zone and doing big, scary, audacious things. It's going to be ups and downs. The other thing that was self-care, and self-care is not just walks and massages and soaks in the tub. Self-care is also really not doing these things, not setting us up to fail, not using the work against ourselves. Self-care is really deciding that I'm amazing. no matter what happens, whether that person says yes or no, no matter what happens, I'm freaking amazing and I did the very best I can. Self-care is, you know what, no matter what happens, I'm not going to use anything against you. I'm going to be your biggest advocate. I'm going to love the hell out of you. I'm going to take care of you. Self-care is, even if somebody says something negative about me to me, I'm not going to internalize that. So somebody says something about, makes a comment, instead of going, well, you know what, they're right, I'm going to believe them. Self-care is like, you know what, they're allowed to have their opinion, I'm allowed to have my opinion, and it's okay. Self-care is standing for yourself, having your own back no matter what, being your best advocate. Self-care is managing your emotions, managing your energy, and choosing on purpose energetic thoughts and feelings that will fuel your action. Self-care is also noticing, you know what, really, I say I'm going to work 40 hours, but you know what, there are times I work 50 hours. Self-care is being able to tell yourself, no, here's a strong boundary. You're going to work 40 hours and everybody else can just manage their mind about what's going on. Self-care is also just being very honest with yourself and checking in with yourself. Like, how does that feel? I said it that way. How does that feel inside my heart? Self-care is just really being aware of your thoughts and your feelings, your energy. Being honest with yourself. Do you know what? There is somebody told me I need to do a boudoir, whatever it's called, photo shoot. And that's not authentic to who I am. And so going, no. And so being really authentic to who you are. Who are you is how you show up and take care of yourself. People pleasing. My recovering people pleasers. This is when we say yes to somebody, when we should be saying no to them. I'm going to repeat that. This is when we're saying yes to somebody so that they can think something positive about us, when we should really be saying no to them. And this is where people pleasers are liars. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I'm a liar. Susie Q asked me to bake cupcakes. My gut reaction would be like, yeah, let me bake cupcakes so Susie Q likes me. But I don't like baking cupcakes. That's my cupcake. My daughter, I call her my cupcake. That's her area of expertise. And so telling Susie Q, no, let Susie Q manage her mind. The other part is perfectionism. I am a recovering perfectionist. Perfectionist is where we think we have to do things perfectly. We think we have to show up perfectly in the world. And not because what other people are going to think about us, because of what we're going to think about us. So for example, we put out a post or we show up on social media and we don't articulate it just the way we should. And maybe the grammar police decide, well, you're bad at grammar. It's not what the grammar police said. It's what did we make it mean about us? How did we internalize that and use it against us? And so I teach my clients how to put B- work out into the world. Put out the best work that you can and be okay with that, because perfectionism slows us down, costs us money. Because if I think I'm not good enough and I feel is sufficient, and any action that I take, I will not get the result that I want, because I'm already telling the energy I'm using is insufficient and not good enough. And so even the words that I use are going to reflect that I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm sufficient enough. And so my cure for burnout was planning. And so I plan things. I'm not as meticulous as some people. There's some people who do it where every single minute of their day is planned out. I don't quite do that, but I will pause. I will sit down. What am I going to communicate with people today? I will pause. I will sit down. What am I going to be doing today? What is my day going to look like? I'm going to pause. Like last week, you guys know I do this on Wednesdays. And so I knew I had an obligation on Wednesday. So planning out, when am I going to do it again? And so planning saved me from a lot of burnout. So the other one is being generous with others at your expense. That comes back to the people pleasing. Be over given to people, but at your expense. Like, I'm going to I want them to think that I'm amazing, and then I feel needy, and then I do something at my expense. And so we can be generous. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm one for being extremely generous and giving and taking care of people, but never at my expense. So that causes burnout. And so cleaning that up. So I talked about planning. What causes burnout is buying programs and not using them to get the results that you want. Buying programs or reading the books or taking a training and not really showing up all in for that so that you can create the results that you want. And so my clients that causes burnout because they'll be taking a ton of training and a ton of information and consuming it, and they are not creating any results. So they're in their A line, which is I'm missing something. I need to figure this out. Somebody has better information than I have. Somebody has the solution to my problem. And so they take all the training, but they don't even use the training or finish the training or utilize the training to create the result that they want, which doesn't give them the satisfaction of the dopamine hit. You did a great job. And so that causes burnout. So you have all these trainings, no results, that causes burnout. One of the ways to increase productivity is to enjoy the freaking journey. Pause. Have fun. If you're not having fun, why the hell are you in business? Business is to have fun. My dearest friend, April, always reminds me that the more fun I have, the more money I make. Have fun in your business. So if fun is not in the feeling line, I'm not going to do it. So it's back to also that of being generous. If I'm not doing it from a clean place, I'm not going to do it. And so we want to have, so those are just some examples of how I cause my burnout and how now I cause my productivity. And so we want to always be looking at what thoughts and feelings are we having. Are they depleting us or are they energizing us? Are they, am we like dragging a boulder up a hill, or are we taking the elevator or the tram? How are we getting up the mountain? Is it easy? Is it fun? Is it enjoyable? Are you having fun? And so that's a very different energy. And so when my clients move from here and spend time here, they start creating the results that they want with ease and fun. They start creating the results that I have that just blows their minds off because it's just where they're spending their energy and their time. And so we can spend 40 hours of our week working on our business, but not creating the results that we want because of what we're doing and what we're creating. So if you're ready to make more money without working any harder or longer, I can help you. This burnout is how we work harder, and burnout is not necessary. It's an option. It's a choice. And so I help my clients be productive without working any harder or longer. And so if you're ready to make more money without working any harder or longer, I can help you. If you're on Facebook, if you want to dive deeper into this work, every week on Zoom, if you're on Zoom, I'm coaching you live. If you're on Facebook just watching this, join us on Zoom. If you have an issue finding the link, let me know. I will be more than happy to provide that for you guys. Next week, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, same thing. I will teach a concept and then I'll coach the individuals on Zoom on this concept, because my goal is I want all the women that I have around me, I want to inspire them to create the results that they want, so that they are spending time, and when they're with their children, and the finances and the money piece is taken care of because you are using energizing energy to take the actions that you want. And so I help my clients make more money without working any harder or longer by making tweaks and adjustments with the energy that they're using that fuels the actions that they take. So sometimes I might help my clients tweak up the action line, tweak up what they're doing, but because it's coming from an energizing energy place, by going like, for example, that is a tool I need to utilize because it's going to help me create more of the results that we want. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, I can help you. You're in the perfect place. If you're ready to get coached, I'm going to coach you live on Zoom. So my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I really, truly appreciate it. I'll see everybody later on Facebook, and I love you guys very, very much. If you can think of anything that you want to be coached on, join us on Zoom. The link is below. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.